So, all right, guys, we got to get this one right. On three, we're going to say, welcome back to our extraordinary thoughts put on their mind. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to our mind.
And we back.
That'll work right there.
Yeah.
And we back. And we
Yeah.
back. And we back. And we
Y'all did y'all best. And that's all that matters.
Who they came to hear, and it's like I'm not coming in clear like I'm supposed to, and that bothers me.
It's like a guest, what is it, luck or whatever? It's like their priorities.
And I sit here and I these are those days where I wish I feel like I'm not taking podcasting as serious as I'm supposed to take it serious. You know what I mean? Like, these are those days where I feel like I'm like, all right, well, you're not taking it as serious. You know?
No, I think you are. It's just, you're also working with what you have.
Just doing the best I can.
Exactly, and it is what it is. And the content is definitely quality. So, let's focus on that.
Speaking of content, I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you. I don't know if my presence I don't know if no one's noticed my lack of presence, but I've been gone. It's been definitely harder to just get up and just record, to be honest with you.
I don't feel like, at least I haven't felt it, from listening to your last couple episodes. It definitely just sounds like you've been going through it.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out. They were like, yo, your episodes sound raw.
Yeah.
And oh, go ahead.
Vulnerability, you've definitely been very vulnerable lately. So I wouldn't say your presence isn't there. It's just a different kind of presence. Maybe not the presence that you are used to presenting to the world. A presence that isn't as strong, isn't as, maybe as masculine as what you're used to. That's just it. But I mean, you're still showing up. It's just a different version of you. That's it.
Yeah. I'm not even going to lie to you. Wait, give me a second. What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm your host, Demetrius Thickman, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome to another episode of Extraordinary Thoughts for the Ordinary Mind. If you have not noticed by now, this is Relationship Problems 6, and it wouldn't be Relationship Problems if I did not have the Cape Crusader, my partner in crime, my partner in heartbreak, my partner in
my partner in trauma,
my partner in trauma, my spirit guide in the many love languages.
Oh, Lord.
The host and creator of A Shot of Shinny, Shinny Solis.
Thank you. That has got to be the best intro you have given me, because all the other ones you was hating.
Because we get on the show, we do these episodes, the episodes turn out great, and then everybody always says oh, you should bring Shinny back. Oh my God, I just love you and Shinny's chemistry. Y'all are just oh my God, you two should. The straw that broke it for me, honestly, was when they said you and Shinny need your own show. I said, first off, Shinny has her own show, and I have my own show.
Which I always have to admit and give credit to you that the reason I even have one is because of you. So thank you for that. You literally held my hand in that process. So
honestly, I was just a passenger, and it was just, I already knew that you were going to have a show. It just was a matter of time when you were going to have the show,
Right. Definitely. Which I will get back into is just, being pregnant right now. I've been on my own emotional journey. And one thing definitely with social media and podcasting is, you are giving yourself, you are sharing a big part of yourself. And just where I'm at right now is just like, no, I kind of need to be to myself right now. So if anyone goes over to a shot of Shani, it's like, wait, there's only like 5 episodes here. Like, first of all, I'm pregnant.
First of all, first of
First of
all,
all, and I will be back. But I could not and would never pass up an opportunity to do an episode with you. So
it's so crazy because when I had this idea, I reached out. Honestly, what a lot of people don't know is like me and Shinny's chemistry isn't just an on-air chemistry. Like me and Shinny, like we communicate offline a lot, and like I confide within Shinny, So when I sat here and I had this idea, like I couldn't do it without anybody but you,
oh, that's
you know.
sweet.
Or and let me rephrase, because I feel like I couldn't walk this journey without you, like you've always helped me like navigate like a lot of my emotions, and like this is just there's so many emotions just in this episode, and that's why I was just sitting back thinking to myself like, dog, like it's so hard to show up because I feel like I have more emotions invested than I should, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting back and I was thinking to myself, like, I shouldn't feel like this. I should never feel like this. How am I supposed to feel like this when I got other shit to do? You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to feel depressed? How am I supposed to be feeling heartbroken? How am I supposed to be feeling all of these emotions when I have other things to do? I have other things to say. I have other people to speak for.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I feel like I haven't spoken for myself.
And that's the important thing though, is that, like you just said, I'm feeling all of this, but I need to do all of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the instant reaction or the habit that naturally comes to us is to put those emotions that are getting in the way, that are impacting us negatively, put them to the side, and like, let me focus on this. Let me really work on this. This is what I need to do right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we never give these emotions that space that it needs, because once you give it its space, then you can have space for those positive, more, important feelings, like being productive, being motivated, being happy, being excited, or whatever. But instead, we do the opposite. We are counterproductive, and we avoid, or we ignore, or we put to the side these emotions that also need to be acknowledged and need their space.
And this is my thing is like, like, see, I'm over here like trying to repress, but in like a couple of days, like I'm gonna have to face all of these emotions. You see what I'm saying?
And
Because
it's only gonna be worse. It's
the
only
whole
gonna be
month, like
worse.
the whole month is about to be all about love. You know what I mean? Like it's about to be about, relationships. It's about to be about happily ever afters. It's about to be about, oh, you're my twin flame. Side note, Shinny was shocked to know that I knew what a twin flame was. You feel
I
me?
really was. I'm still shocked. Like, every time you say twin flame, I'm like, he really knows
I've
what
been
a
trying to
twin
do
flame is.
I've been trying to do some shadow work lately. You feel me?
Get
And
out.
I've been trying to do some shadow work lately.
You're so toxic. Get out.
But the problem is that you can't do the shadow work when you the shadow.
Exactly. Get out.
When you the shadow. And so one of the biggest things, we sat back and we've talked about love languages, we've talked about just relationship problems, but we never gave space for the almost relationship. And for those who don't know what the almost relationship is, that's the relationship, like that's the budding portion of your relationship. You know what I mean? Like it's the first dates. It's the first communications. It's the initial emotional responses to each other. It's the first times. But the thing about it is that it does not unfold into a whole relationship. It's the relationship that almost happened.
But it was still a relationship nonetheless,
Still a
because
relationship.
yes, and that's what I want to emphasize. because these almost relationships don't get acknowledged in that manner, especially like when we were talking about it offline, where as soon as you share it with a friend or you're venting about it and you're hurt because of these relationships that didn't blossom, the first thing that a friend or family member, whoever it is that you're venting to, will do unintentionally is like, well, how long were you with this person? And if it's less than a year, they're looking at you stupid. They're looking at you crazy. Like, yo, are you
That's not really a
serious right now?
relationship.
Yeah, like that wasn't even a relationship. Like, why are you tripping? And it's just, I'm glad we're doing this because we all know we've all been through this. We've all been through these almost relationships that did get to us, that were intimate, that did hit us. But it's almost like they're always shut down. We're never allowed to mourn them as we should. Just like any other relationship that dies and ends.
And it's crazy because people will say like, it's, that wasn't even a relationship. Like, okay, tell my heart that.
Right?
Tell my heart that. Like,
tell my energy that.
Where's this chest pain coming from?
To this person. Yeah.
like a almost relationship will have you more fucked up than a real relationship. Let me rephrase.
That's a fact.
A almost relationship will have you more fucked up than a full-term relationship.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's
because there's so many questions, there's so many what ifs, there's so many should have, could have, would have's. There's because there's so much unknowns, there's so many variables, there's so many things that you could look back on and you're just like, had I known this at that time, it would have gone differently and maybe we would still be together.
You see what I'm saying?
Versus a full-term relationship, it's just easier to move on or mourn it or let it go because you're just like, I know this person, they're never going to change. I did my best, or, these differences that we ignored. I should have seen the red flags from the beginning. Like, it's just, those are so much easier to let go versus all these unknowns and all these questions that are left with these almost relationships.
You see what I'm saying? And this is the thing is like, for such a immature experience, and when I say immature, I mean that it just didn't fully mature into what it could have been. These are some real mature emotions I'm feeling. You see what I'm saying? I've never felt depression. Let me rephrase, because I'm always, every other month, I'm finding myself depressed. Every other month.
It's like, excuse me, sir.
Never mind. No, I got like 4 chapters that say like, I'm going through it. Let me rephrase. I've never felt this type of depression, if that makes sense.
No.
For me, it feels like I'm empty. It feels like I'm in a house this isn't my home, but it was made for me. I look at pictures of myself, but the problem is that I'm trying to get past the pictures that we were in, but I'm really trying to find the pictures that I was before I met you. Because
you're in a half-built house.
Yeah. I'm in somebody else's house.
You're in a half-built house, and you're over here, like, still trying to imagine it fully built.
Yeah.
That's what these almost relationships feel like, You were setting up the foundation, you were, building this house together, and then it's like, we didn't even get to finish it. So that unaccomplished feeling, that half-ass feeling, but yet, we spent money on this material, we spent energy on this,
spent time.
Yeah, for what?
Just for
you could just leave me with a half-ass house that I can't even live in, that I can't even enjoy. I can't do nothing with this. What am I supposed to do with all of this?
And I feel ridiculous. I feel ridiculous because I feel like this. Because it's like the almost relationship. The problem is that there's no labels. There's no boundaries. There's no boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can be up for game, until it's on the table. You see what I'm saying? And it's like
Anything's a deal breaker.
anything could be a deal breaker. And the problem with that is, for me, it's just like, wait a minute. What you mean this is the deal breaker? I'm real toxic. I'm real toxic. Wait.
Like
So
you're choosing this?
this little petty shit? Oh man, like you ain't even seen me full throttle yet. Like I can get worse. I can get worse. What you mean? Wait. And this is the thing. It's like if this was a full term relationship, you would invest in that. You know, you would want to say like, hey, we gonna stick it out. We gonna make this work.
Yeah, you're more willing to work through it. Like if you're actually married or
Mm,
you're actually engaged, like you
mm,
said, these titles, um, or you actually have children involved.
mm-hmm,
So that's another thing too, where the bond might not be of the relationship might not be between both of you, might be a child. So you're more willing to work with someone, even if they're toxic, or even though they have their traumas and their flaws and everything. But when there's no title, it's just, hey, I like you, you like me, let's get to know each other. It's like, you're not my man, so oh, that hit a nerve.
The hell you mean I'm not your man? I was just with you like last night. What the hell you mean I'm not your man? I've told you secrets that I haven't even fucking said out loud. Like you say that I'm not your man, but this is the problem. What I have with that situation is that I view us in a long term. I thought we were just old enough that we didn't have to say that shit.
Right.
And
That
that's
part.
not. And I think that's the problem, is that I didn't say that shit.
Hmm.
You know, and you sit back and you're stuck with all these possibilities of, what if you just would have gave it a try? What if you just would have just stuck it out? And then you sit back and you tell yourself like, oh, well, this person just wasn't strong enough then. You know what? Fuck that person. Thank God for this person, to come out of your life. But the reality is that that's not how you really feel.
What if you would have felt what I was feeling? Because you end up feeling like maybe you were the only one that had those feelings, those mature, real feelings.
Mm, maybe I love too hard.
Mm. So that's what I'm saying. Like all
Yeah.
these questions just come up from these, almost relationships. And another layer to this of almost relationships is like, oh damn, like lesson learned, right? So for you, what you just said is, damn, I should have said that.
Hmm.
Lesson learned. But did I really have to learn this lesson through an almost relationship? Like I couldn't learn through another method?
Did I have to
Universe?
learn this right now? Couldn't this shit happen? Like for real though. Like for real. Like of all the times in my life, can I learn this lesson like later? You feel me? Like when I'm more emotionally available? You know? Like why is it, and you find yourself, because it affects, and this is what I realized, is that heartbreak affects you not just emotionally. This is a mental thing. This is a physical thing. You find yourself like you're just numb to everything around you. You're sensitive to everything around you. And then it affects your work. You're not performing the way that you normally would. Let me rephrase. You're actually more sensitive in your environment instead of being sensitive to your environment.
Mhm.
And now you're just sitting here just like, man, I just, this is the thing. It's like, I'm over here looking at the stages of grief. Like what stage am I in? Or what stage is me? Like, have we made it to stage 2 yet? Am I in the depression phase, or is this still the grief phase? Like, I don't know. The line's just been blurred.
Mm-hmm. What are they again? Remind me. I know anger is one of them. Not accepting anger.
So there's grief, there's anger, there's depression, there's, I think it's rebuilding, and then acceptance. I'll have to double back on them.
Okay. All right.
It's better than that time when you had asked me like what my love language was, and I said blue.
Yes.
And I said blue.
I was like, get out.
Like that wasn't it. That wasn't it.
You was way off.
You know, and
Oh
I
my
think
goodness.
I feel like a almost relationship is like a first date, a never ending first date.
It is. Yes. Yes.
Cause, and I say that because it's like y'all are showing each other y'all best selves. You know what I mean? Like your best version every single time. Like this is the version of me that you get to see all the time because we're in a relationship, but we're not really in a relationship. So when you see me, like you're always going to see me at my best. You're not going to really see me at my worst. And my worst could probably be the day I forgot to, put the toilet seat down or I forgot to flush the toilet. My bad. Goddamn. Like these toilets just ain't strong like they used to be. You know, you feel me? Like my worst day isn't you living with me and I come home because I had a rough day at work. You know, those almost feelings like, damn, man, like I wish you could have saw all of me.
Or even those these almost relationships sometimes come at the wrong time. Like we all know the cliche, like, oh, meeting the right person at the wrong time. We all know that. And we all know that firsthand because they come into your life, maybe when you're financially down. Or maybe you're going through family problems. So your mental and emotional capacity to take on a relationship is affected because you're going through this, right? Going through this in your life. And so you're left with that, like, man, like if I was at my best, at my prime, if we would have met before this or after this certain type of event in my life, where would we be?
For me, I feel like it's the opposite. And I say it's the opposite for me because I feel like you came in at the right, like when I was at my right time. I'm loving myself. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all of these emotions. And what if when you came in, like, is this just that, is that version that you love? Like, is this that version, like the happier version of me? Like you couldn't deal with like the sadness that I have, the pain that I deal with. I
So
reminisce on
you
that.
were at a high, you
Oh
were at
yeah.
your prime basically. And, during this almost relationship, it was like you went through like a decline. And it's like, maybe you couldn't handle that. Is that what it was? That's funny because we went through the same almost relationship then. And this is the clique that we be talking about.
It's not fair.
It's not. It's not. I know. And that's the thing, and I could relate to that feeling because, when my almost relationship came in, I was over here glowing. Like I was over here blooming, like just
Shit.
feeling myself, just meditating, working out, minding my business, drinking my water, like
You see what I'm saying? Like drinking your water.
just living life, living my best life, so it just makes sense that during this time, and maybe this is something that you and I maybe need to take responsibility for, that during this time, of course, we're going to attract people, during our glowing phase or whatever, right? Where we were at. And we did not do our due diligence. Because at least that's been my experience and my reflection, right? I did not do my due diligence that while I was in my prime, while I was over here focused on working on myself and loving myself, I in essence betrayed myself and just let somebody in just like that. I
Do
didn't
you
have them go through any real what's it called?
like I know what you're talking about. I didn't invent them. I didn't vet them.
Exactly.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the
Like
word.
you didn't run like
Yes.
those prerequisites of the person. Now,
I didn't have any of that.
do you feel like during that time you lost, and I don't want to say lost your power, but you gave
More
them.
like I gave it away. Yes.
And I was thinking to myself in that time where I was telling myself that I was beautiful. I was telling myself that I could do it. But then your comment came in, and it just felt so enriching to hear it from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And soon, like, that's all I wanted to hear, and I stopped doing it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're not here, and I forgot how to do it for myself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in these, like, the almost relationships, like a mature relationship, it's like we go through these stages, and by the time that it ends, we start to find pieces of ourself again. You know what I mean? Like we start to learn how to deal with, that's what it is. We learn to live without that person before the relationship comes to a conclusion. But in the almost phase, I didn't learn to live without you. I didn't learn to heal without you. I didn't
I
learn
was just getting used to you being in my life, and it's already over.
for real.
That's the worst part. Is like I had just gotten accustomed to you. I had just, especially for me, like I had gone 4 years being single.
Right?
So for me, it was a huge deal. For that person, like, it's just like, okay, whatever. They didn't really know the magnitude or the impact of me saying like, yes, come into my life, and again, that's my fault, and that's the responsibility that I'm now taking, reflecting on this relationship, is that I did not, make it known to this person, like, look, this is not normal. Like me just letting someone into my life, like I have to see something in you. I have to see something that I want to build with you for me to let you in. So that was a whole adapting and adjusting of having this person constantly in my life. And right when I got used to it, right when it just felt right when I was getting comfortable, right when it was just like, it was starting to feel good. And I'm like, yeah, like really opening up to being in a relationship and really like willing to work with you. This motherfucker really gonna turn around and tell me like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I can't be with you.
Oof.
I was like, excuse the fuck out of me.
You feel me? And like it's like, wait, I'm working through things. You're helping me work through those things.
And I'm working through your things on top of that.
We're clicking.
Hey, hello.
And this is too
Am I
much for
missing
you.
something? Like, how are we looking at the same relationship differently?
How are we in the same relationship and you want out?
That sounds scratched in my head.
You know? And it's like, you feel, you feel weird because it's like, do I call this a relationship? Is this a
I
plan?
feel robbed of a relationship.
I feel robbed, period.
I feel robbed.
I feel
I
like,
feel I feel like I've just been bamboozled.
ooh, I feel
This
like
shit was fugazi.
I feel like it was a strong arm stick up.
Right.
I feel like it was, instead of like, give me all your money, give me your energy, give me
Give me
your
all your
love,
emotions.
give me your trauma. No, no, here, take my trauma.
Yo,
And it's
facts.
like, you healed, it's like you healed, but now I'm stuck with my own healing process. But the thing is that you had somebody to heal with, but now I'm stuck doing it by myself.
Well, see, the frustrating thing is that, like, like you were saying, we were both on a high.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be on a low, you're just like, you have got to be fucking shitting me. Like, it took me so much for me to climb up out of the hole that I was in
Mm-hmm.
and be you know, to elevate myself, to be out here glowing and flourishing or whatever. And I can't believe I let myself come back to this fucking low place again off of somebody.
For me, it feels like a piece of me is missing. Like, this stranger will always have a piece of me, you know? And it's like, I need that piece back. You know what I mean? Like, that was my block. You know, like when you see those movies and it shows like this was his piece, like this is the piece that made him whole. Like, I need that piece back. I need that
No,
closure back.
no, I don't like that. I don't like that analogy, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm,
Because, you know, you were already perfect, whole, and complete before this person.
So why do I feel
They
so
didn't
empty
take
without him?
they did not, they took a version of you, and that's why it feels like it's a piece of you,
Mm,
but it's a version of you. I want to clarify that, because that right there is very dangerous. That mindset right there, you piece of me that I could never get back. No, that's bullshit. And I for anybody that's listening to this, I don't want them to fall into that trap. No, they took a version of you. Now, mind you, throughout your whole life, how many versions have you been? How many times have you changed? Have you evolved? Plenty of fucking times. The version that I am on this podcast is not the same version I am at work, right?
right?
So when I have another job, that's another version of me.
You know, and I think just I miss that version.
And
And I
you
think
can
that's the
mourn
hard
that
part.
version. Yeah, you can
That's
mourn
it.
that version. And I want you to do that, but I don't want you to go into this dangerous mentality of like, hey, I want that person back. You can get that person back if you choose to. Or that version stays with that person and that's it. And you can mourn that person.
And, you know, and I feel like that's the hardest part right there, is because you fall in love with this version of yourself, but you experience different versions. You experience love differently through different people,
Exactly.
and each person receives a different version of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think like it sucks the most is because it's now this version, that version of you that was with that person has expired, but
Mm-hmm.
you weren't ready for that version to expire just yet. And now you have to go through another version of yourself, but you're mourning the older version of yourself.
And it's also your mourning too, is if this person brought that version out of you that you didn't even know was there, that you didn't even know existed. And I wasn't even with you long enough to get to really know this new version of me. You know, that's the hard part, really. And I think that's the real mourning of it. That who I was with you was only with you, and I don't even know how to tap into that person without you. So now that you're gone, I have no access to that. So thanks.
And it sucks because it's like you go through pictures, and even if it's not even pictures with that person, you see a picture of yourself during that time, and you don't see yourself, you see that different version of you. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I heard our old episode, and I just was sitting there listening to a complete stranger. I couldn't copy his mannerisms. I couldn't copy his tone. I couldn't I could feel his confidence. And I knew that that was me, but I don't feel like that no more. And I know it's a journey to get back to that person, or let me rephrase, I know it's a journey to get to this new version. But fuck, man, like I kind of just missed the old update.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sucky part about it. Because just like what you said, like that version expired when we expired.
Mhm.
That time in my life, because it's like you're looking at like time. You ever looked at a sad picture of you during a sad time and you're just like, damn, I was going through it.
Through it.
You feel me? Like I heard one of my episodes when I was going through it and I was like, oh shit. Like, damn, I'm so happy I came out of that. Like, fuck.
Right.
And it's like you're looking at a stranger. You're like, dog, that can't be me. It's like looking at a drunk text or hearing a drunk story of you. Like, nah, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I don't do that
Or
stuff.
for me, I have like, I have a journal and I went through like
Oh, I thought we were about
the
to talk about
beginning.
Janet.
No,
I thought we were about to talk about Janet. Never
no,
mind.
don't mention Janet. Nobody knows about Janet. Goddamn.
Thought we were talking about
Just putting
Janet.
my
My bad.
business out there.
Soon as you said Jay, I was like, Janet.
No. See, now I gotta say who the fuck Janet is. Janet is an alter ego. That's it. That's all these people gonna know. Goddamn.
You know.
No, but I have a journal that I've had for years now, and I went somewhere in the beginning of it. In the beginning of it is like 2000. I want to say like 10, 11, some damn near a decade ago, and reading my own handwriting. Even my handwriting has changed. Reading my handwriting and just the rawness of what I was saying back then, I'm just like, oh my God. Like you said, like I'm so glad I am no longer this person, or I, grew from this, or whatever it is. But I guess with these almost relationships, we're having the opposite effect, which is, damn, I really wish I could be this person again. And it's like having it's more normal to look at a past version of yourself and be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not that person anymore. But what do you do when it's the opposite? When you want to be that person again, you just can't. You just cannot be that person anymore. Just like you can't be that old negative version that we were just talking about. Even the opposite is true. I can't even be that, super happy. I mean, I can be happy again, but just not that kind of happy.
Mm,
Not that kind of confident
mm.
that this almost relationship brought out in me.
And it's like, as I sit back and I go through it, I ask myself, and I look at things like, this is the part where you have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part where you're going to have to recreate. Let me rephrase, not recreate. You're going to have to create. This is the part where you're going to have to like find your own happiness, find your own strength again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you have to
If I
be
did it
patient with
before,
yourself.
I can do it again.
You said it best in a couple of episodes. You said you were doing the best what you can with what you had at that time.
Exactly.
And now you're going to have to
What you
do.
knew.
Mm-hmm. And I actually wrote that down and I was just trying, I really was trying to embody that. I was like, you're doing the best that you can with what you have right now. You're dealing with you're dealing with it the best you can with what you have right now at this moment. It's going to suck. It's going to be hard. But you have to get through it. You have to get through it.
And more so, you have to be okay with mourning it. Like if there's one thing I want whoever's listening to this to take away is, can you feel grateful for this person coming into your life? Absolutely. And can you
Mm-hmm.
also feel anger and betrayed? Absolutely. Like the duality of these emotions, yes, you can feel both of them. But the thing is though, we tend to like want to push aside the negative, like, oh, feeling betrayed, feeling like, no, let me just focus on being grateful. And, oh, I'm glad I learned the lessons that came from this relationship, blah, blah, blah. As you should. But you also need to give space to mourn a relationship that didn't become a relationship. It is okay to mourn it. Mourn what you feel you were robbed of. Mourn what you didn't get. Mourn not having what you thought you were going to get. It is okay to do that.
But don't let it consume you.
Exactly.
Because if you're like me, like, things can get out of hand with yourself, and
You might relapse, grab a cigarette.
stop eating for 3 days, disappear from social media, not make a video. I will go on record and say that I won't make a fake account. Like, I won't make a fake account and stalk you and your ex-boyfriend. I'm a real nigga. I'll fucking send my real account. The fuck? Like,
Right. I'm gonna be toxic, but like, you
I'm
don't
up
see my
front with my
toxicity.
you already look.
You don't see it.
You know what the fuck I'm here for. You know what I'm here
Right.
for. Like, you
Right.
moving on, okay, I just want to see. Just let me peek, like.
You know what's funny? I did the same thing. Like, I did not do none of that fake shit. I
Nah.
literally went on this man's story. I went on his profile with his new girl, and I was just like, okay. I was like, that's weird. She's short, curly hair, so you got a type? Like,
Mm.
oh, she kind
Mm.
of, okay.
I mean, like, honest to God, I'll comment. I don't give a fuck. I'll comment. I don't give a fuck. You gonna block me?
I was about to get that petty, like start liking everything and like,
You gonna
I
block
was
me?
gonna do all of that, but I was just like, you know what, Shani, talk to your higher self. What would your higher self do? Your higher self was like, you know what, like the best thing for you to do is to move on, glow up again, get back to that. Not back to because she doesn't exist no more, but let's focus on this glow up. Let's
Somebody
focus on.
told me. Somebody told me to do some shadow work, and I just sent a friend request. Like, I think that's the best thing right there. Like, is that what the shadow is? Like, just
No,
embody, like you embody, you embody your shadow.
no, no. You acknowledge it. You acknowledge it, but you don't embody it. You acknowledge it and you work on it.
Oh,
Yes.
then I've been
Come on
going
now.
about this wrong then.
You're all the way wrong.
'Cause somebody told me one thing, and I sure enough went left with it. Like, I'm talking about,
Yeah,
like,
no.
I'm the type to
You
get,
become friends with your demons. You don't become your demons.
that should have been a disclaimer. That should have been a disclaimer, because I heard, they said, like, you need to fight your demons. I said, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a
Oh my
fighter.
God.
I feel like, the best
No,
thing,
because the more you fight them, like it's like the more you resist, the more it persists.
you
Does
know
that
what I
make
mean?
sense? Okay, I'm gonna say that again because that might go over people's head. What you resist, they're your demons, the more they will persist. So
And I'm
that's
just,
that's what that shadow work is about. It's for you to lean into your shadow, for you to become friends with your shadow, for you to acknowledge your shadow.
oh, yeah, I did the complete opposite then.
You just let your demons out. You was just like,
I
have
said,
a
look,
field
man,
day.
you're
No, that's
hurt.
not what it is.
I'm hurt. Stop
Let's just hurt
fighting
each
this shit.
other.
You see what I'm
What?
saying? Like, stop fighting
No.
this. You wanna go to her page? Go to her page. Go. Like, you feel like, hey, stop denying yourself the things that you want to do in life. And then I had to take a step back and be like, bro, you are so fucking toxic. You are toxic. Stop that. Stop that. I'm looking at
Maybe that
I'm
is
looking at
what you
myself in
needed
the
to do.
camera.
Right.
I'm looking at myself in the camera like, stop. Damn.
Maybe your shadow work needed to be like that, where it's like you needed to step into it and then step out of it and just be like, wow, that was toxic. You know what I mean? Like, wow. And that maybe that was your way of acknowledging your shadow,
And I
your
say that
demon.
because I've always been the type of person to just say the best thing for the situation. You know what I mean? Like, okay, hey, you want to break my heart? Like, hey, I wish you the best. You look so happy, but I'm lying. I'm fucking
Mm-hmm.
lying. Like, I hope you see my hands. I'm fucking lying. Okay? I don't wish you the best.
Oh. No hard feelings.
What the fuck does that mean? No hard feelings?
I
Wow.
hate that fucking phrase.
Because this depression is hard right now. My stomach is growling, but I have no intentions of eating right now. I'm just gonna feed it with other shit.
That to me honestly just confirms, to me, like when somebody tells me that, like, oh, there's no hard feelings or whatever, like, no fucking shit, because love is a hard feeling. Jealousy is a hard feeling. Healing is a hard feeling. You know what I mean? So for you to have no hard feelings, to me, that tells me you have no fucking pulse.
You feel me? And this is the things, like when people say like no hard feelings, like yeah, no hard feelings when we both were competing for a spot and I got the position. No hard feelings. Yeah, no
Mm.
hard feelings when I took your parking spot. No hard feelings. No hard feelings when I bought the last fucking, hamburger at the restaurant. No hard feelings. Don't tell me no hard feelings when my heart's in fucking shambles and you're the one holding the fucking hammer.
Right.
Like this isn't a mug. Like I can't glue this shit back together.
Oh, it was nothing personal, but I gave you my body. Oh, okay.
Because no. This is nothing personal, but I told you traumas that I haven't even said out loud.
Right. But nothing personal. No hard feelings.
Now I gotta fucking see your whole fucking relationship. Meanwhile, I'm fucking devastated. No hard feelings. Silly me. We were cosplaying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
We're
way too
playing
deep in the
house.
character. We got way too
Yeah.
deep in the character. Got way too deep in the character. And it's like you're trying to, and that's the part right there that sucks, is because it's like it's almost invalidating. It's like I understand, like
No.
like
It's not almost.
it
It
is.
is invalidating.
It's like you got on, you moved on. And that's the thing, is like it's always a one-sided thing. Let me phrase, it feels like it's a one-sided thing because I can't read your mind. I'm not in contact with you. I don't know you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the one that's dealing with all of this shit right now. Like you display that you're happy, but I can't display anything right now because I'm not.
And it's further invalidating when you got friends and family. Like, what are you talking about? That wasn't even a relationship. It was only 5 months, 6 months, whatever timeline, whatever. Add the number of months on there, less than
No,
a
it's
year.
further invalidating when you see them and they're happy and you're not. It makes you think like I'm the one that brought the most and you didn't.
Oh, so this was fake. Got
Wow. You
it.
know what it was? You know what it was? I was your fake twin flame. That's what it's the universe. The universe used me to help you meet your soulmate. Oh, wow.
I was your good luck, Chuck. Got it.
That's crazy. I helped you. I'm so grateful. Wow. Thank you, universe, for allowing me to be a character in this story. Like, no, no, that's not fair. I need my money back. Like, that's not what I wanted. I need my fucking money
Oh,
back.
so this was a free trial. Promotion is over, and
I
I
was a
can't cash that
tester.
in.
I was a tester. I just needed to make sure that everything was good. Got it. Now you have your
Yes.
soulmate, and now I am soulless. Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing. I love this experience. Said no one ever.
Ever.
Said no one ever. And you're sitting back and you're trying to like now you're you're not who you used to be, and now you're trying to walk into who you're supposed to be or who you're going to be. And in that moment right there, you're in limbo because it's as if the bus left but you missed the spot, and now you got to watch everybody else fucking ride off. And that sucks. That sucks. And it's like it gets better. It does get better. You will heal. And it's one of those things. And I really wanted to just say this, like, it's like, if you are sitting back right now and you're going through it, the one thing that you don't need to say is that time did not play an effect. Time has no effect in this. Experience does. Intensity does. You probably experienced something within 6 months that somebody had never experienced. You probably experienced something within 6 months that it would take somebody 2 years to experience. You probably went through a whole 2-year relationship in the time of 5 fucking months. And
Time is irrelevant.
it's not. It is. It
So
is.
can we normalize, acknowledging relationships regardless of how long they are?
Hmm. Can we acknowledge the fact that like you're going to meet somebody that's going to bring so much excitement in your life, and then they're going to leave, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Because
And it's okay to feel the effects of their absence.
it's okay to mourn them.
It's okay to mourn them. It's okay to mourn an old version of you. It's okay to mourn a relationship that didn't happen. Excuse me, not that it didn't happen. A relationship that didn't become a relationship. A formal relationship.
It's okay to mourn the timeline. That's okay. I wish I would have got the previews and known that this was going to happen. I probably would have skipped it, but I mean, you know, you can't. You can't skip it. What you can say is that this had to happen because what's going to happen next, you need the ammo for. This had to happen.
The wisdom for.
Oh, you needed the notes for this test.
Mm-hmm.
This
This
person.
is a pop quiz. The pop quiz. Use the pop quiz. All right.
And you look on the bright side, like you sit back and you say to yourself, like, this person helped me see my flaws. This person helped me see my good. This person helped me see a version of myself that I can take and move on to the next version, because it's not as if like you're going to forget it, but you can use it to add on to, because that's one thing that we always got to remind ourselves is that each version is better than the next.
Mm-hmm.
Each version is better than the one that came after it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this version right here, like this happiness, you know, like if that person said that you were beautiful, if that person complimented you, they were showing you that that's what you like. You have to learn how to do that for yourself, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I read this poem, and it said like, you know, it went on in terms of saying like you're going to meet somebody and this person is going to feel familiar to you. It's going to feel like as if you've known this person in such a short time. But be advised, this person is not yours to keep. And in time, this person is going to show you your traumas. They're going to show you the things that you lack and you need to gain. And once you have learned how to gain that, the halo is going to disappear and that person is going to become a stranger again. And that's what you have to tell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people come in your life for reasons, seasons, and lifetime lessons. And you just got your lifetime lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, absolutely.
So what? You wish that they get on a plane and that motherfucker blows up. Oops, sorry. Sorry. I don't wish that. Want to go on record and say I don't wish that. But if we're still doing shadow work, if you got one more thing for me.
No, honestly, like I can truly say that all the almost relationships, all the relationships, all the men I've encountered, I've left them better than how I found them. So to me, you know, my conscience is clear. Do I have my weaknesses? Do I have my toxic traits and everything like that? But there's not one of these motherfuckers that can come to me and tell me like, hey, you did this to me. No, because every single one of them can literally say at least one thing that they now carry with them that's like, Shani gave me that. That's my legacy. So
my closure with it is that you ain't gonna never meet anybody that had more confidence than me. You ain't gonna never meet anybody that dressed better than me.
okay, so that's yours.
Yeah, it's very vain. It's very vain.
Yeah.
No, it's because it'll keep me up at night, that knowing that your new lover has a better version of you that I created. I helped you get there.
Right.
Like you over here sitting here showing this motherfucker new music, like you putting him on. I put you on.
Right.
But in a way, like sometimes like you have to be an angel in somebody else's life to help them get through their time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will always remember you.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds toxic, but I can tell you it came from a genuine place. It came from,
No, I felt it. I feel like you, like, I am always judging your toxicity, but I really wasn't this time.
It's
Because I
toxic.
always call it out. I'm like, that's toxic.
Like, hey, I just want to go on record and say that it's always high levels of toxic with me. Like it's always high levels of of toxic is not good, but
Yes.
toxic is not good. But I will say you had a blast with me. You had
Right.
fun, and that's what matters. So what? You hate my guts now, okay? So what? You hate my guts, okay? So what? Every time you see my picture, it makes you want to fucking scream. You had a good time, and don't lie, and don't lie,
Oh God, you're one of those.
because you can.
No, I
Oh,
definitely, I definitely contributed to all of mine. Like definitely, a better version of who they are now and all of that. So at least at least that's what helps me, is that at least I know for a fact, like whatever chick comes after me that gets to enjoy you, whatever, it's like, you're welcome. I did that.
invite me to the wedding.
He couldn't do that on his own. No, honey. He had to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He had to be with me for you to enjoy all of that.
Absolutely, and I hope your new nigga
So
can
I
fight.
wish a female would, because there's always females like, oh, like they always want to know about the exes or whatever, blah blah blah,
100%.
and just want to rub it in the ex's face that they're with the nigga, the new one or whatever. It's like, oh, honey, over here you're gonna get your feelings hurt because everything that you're enjoying, that's me. So basically, you're technically a lesbian. You're dating me.
No, 100%. 100%
So I just showed my toxicity. I'm cocky as shit.
100%. 100%. I like this shadow work right here. I like this one. Like, hey, congratulations. Hey, you like her vibe? Like, congratulations, my nigga. You dating me. You dating me.
Right. That's me.
Y'all singing along to that song? Like, who the fuck you think showed her? Like, congratulations, my nigga. You like the spot? Like, this your favorite spot to take her to? Where the fuck you think she learned it from?
Where? Who
You
did
know? And I just hope, I hope your new nigga can fight because I can.
that?
I can.
Right.
Like if you ever just see me one day and you just saying to yourself, like, yo,
You
like,
want to be
this,
bold?
this is that nigga. This is that nigga. Like, yes, I am that guy. I'm going through it because I usually don't talk like this on air. No, I'm going through it. I went through it. Like somebody sitting back probably like this. Meech is petty. I was like this. Nah. You know what I'm saying? What's petty? You know what I'm saying? What's gonna be petty is when y'all see me out and I'm the loudest fucking person in the room. Like, yeah, motherfucker, y'all gonna see me and know that I ain't leaving because you didn't break me.
That part.
Wow, thank you. This was definitely a healing episode. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary. Why do I always do the outro? I have it already pre-recorded. Disregard that. All right. So with that being outro is pre-recorded. But with that being said, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. Shenny, do you have anything to say before we go off?
No, I just really hope that this episode really helps somebody in the sense of not feeling alone, especially after 2020 being quarantined. I feel like all of us are going through our journey and we might feel very isolated and everything like that. And I'm sure there was a lot of almost relationships in 2020. So if it hasn't been acknowledged, if you haven't acknowledged it, I hope this episode gave you that space and that acknowledgement where you don't feel alone. It's like, oh, damn, I'm not the only one that has these feelings.
And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Stay tuned Mondays and Fridays. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Meech Speaks. Once again, that's Meech Speaks. Meech is spelled Meech. Don't forget to share this podcast, subscribe to this podcast, follow this podcast, pass this podcast to somebody because this podcast was dedicated to helping everyone become a better version of themselves. Even though I don't know what that type of version is, I just know that you can be better. Lastly, don't forget to grab your copy of The Extraordinary Thought from the Ordinary Mind, available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. I think there's an electrical copy. You know what it is. Stay hungry, stay motivated. I'm out.